Welcome back to the LPL for game number 3, where Ning have fallen amongst the brethren known as IG. The brethren in the LPL, but enemies on the field. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, that game was interesting, but I'll tell you one thing about that series, or this series rather, is that now this final game, there can be no quarters given in game 3, Raz.
No quarters given? I don't understand that idea.
Okay. Hey, people need to play their best.
Yes, they do.
Thank you. That's literally what I mean.
All right, I don't understand your Australian colloquial.
Quarters, no quarters given is like a nautical term.
Oh, okay, I understand you. I'm cool.
Don't understand what's coming out of my
you.
mouth. Anyway, MVP TheShy, by the way. So let's get right into that one.
Yeah!
Wow.
Thumbs up.
Neeko damage.
32%.
Not bad.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, he was on the ball today. I felt like, there'd been some questions looming over him since MSI, that performance that they were able to have. Comes into what I feel like the last 2 weeks just stopping. I feel like this was the type of performance we needed to see from him. Goes glacial and just smokes them in team fights. So good job ultimately. TheShy was able to be come up trumps for the team.
I mean, the majority of that lead was built up towards the top side, and it was on the back of Ning playing better as well, and the fact that now the mid lane, as you were pointing out in the last game, Forge was playing a much better game.
Yes, and so I highlighted Forge. Obviously, easy MVP here for TheShy. I think if your solo laners on Invictus Gaming are doing well, then that's exactly what you built this team to do.
That's the identity of the team, with or without Rookie.
Exactly. So you needed to be able to accomplish that. Forge, I think, has been able to come out and really just shake off the nerves that he initially had. And a lot of it is just, it's great to see that he's able to come in with a lot of focus, and the 2v2 failures aren't coming from their end. It's not coming from Invictus Gaming at all. A lot of that questionable calls coming in from specifically Weiwei through mid lane. And he got that early first blood. He was rolling. Again. Sky high.
He was right back in the same position he was after game 1.
And everybody brain farts. Everybody does. Like I'm not going to compare him to me. Everyone I've seen goes through some awful moments in game and they regret it. And I felt like he was able to come back in this game and make a meaningful impact. It just comes down to whether you can convert your leads. And I felt like every time Invictus Gaming, I mean, the composition has set themselves up to be able to do that. They have a very standard comp, so whenever they find a pick, they go through group up, get a mid lane pick up, go through bot side, and they were able to siege on inner bot lane tower, while you look at across the side of, the no AD carry side of Ning, and every single time they needed more. They needed an AD carry pickup to be feeling comfortable about a team fight.
That's right.
Even though they got a pick on the support, it couldn't mean that they can converge on a tower. They needed far more. They needed to try and group up for kills and really force Invictus Gaming out of their turrets into the river.
Because Weiwei ended up coming up bot again, and there was that gate that netted. I'm trying to think who the Pike was. It's SwordArt. Yes, it is. It's SwordArt because he was the AD carry Pike that swap roles for some reason. He got the kill. The lane was behind in CS, but they got the kill to catch back up, and it felt like through the bottom lane, that snowball effect would be heavier than maybe even game number 1. But
you saw how contested it was in game 1.
That's right.
How difficult it was in team fights, even when it was going up against the go-to composition you are built to deal with, which was like that group up, Sonateric. That's what it was really meant for initially, and so they were still fine going up against the Xayah and Lux, but the Xayah and Lux naturally are well-equipped to be able to deal with it in team fights so easily, to be able to just disengage, especially in that Baron situation that they had later on in the game. Xayah, when she had to deal with the Cannon ultimate, just ulti. And then had all the feathers out there to be able to just, of course, bring them all back in, get a decent enough damage and snare to follow up. This great team fighting ultimately from Invictus Gaming in these situations.
I love how you bring up the Cannon ulti, because on top of that, the Pike ulti as well. There was so much negation from Xayah's simple R button, just taken away from Ning, and that kill threat down the drain.
I hope they don't go back to the Pike and Yuumi.
I think it's done
3.
its due diligence,
exactly, and I think they're a strong enough team that they don't need to go for that. They don't need to rely on it. I mean, it still worked out pretty well in the early portions of game 2.
Yep.
Just means that when a team has been comfortable enough in dealing with that surprise factor, it's going to be harder and harder to deal with, what they had to go through in game 1.
So let's see something like the Civil lane for Smlz. We're half expecting it in game number 2. See if it makes its way through here, because once again, we have the same bans, the Azir taken away from IG, who once again returned to the red side. And
Not much is changing.
Willing to pick up the Sylas first rotation.
Yeah, there we go. Not much has changed on that front for Invictus Gaming. I mean, at least the Aatrox is gone in this one. They can go back to the usual. Got the Neeko and got the Lux.
Yep.
It's going to be on Suning to be able to make some changes here.
Exact same so far. Now, as you mentioned there before, okay, with something like the Yuumi
Is it going to be the Pike? Is it going to be the Sivir? I say Sivir, but it's up to Suning on this one, how confident they're feeling about this.
Do they think it was the bottom lane that let down the ball? Well,
that's not the pick.
Now, SMLZ did play
this
that in spring, but yes, that is the pick.
I love this one from Smlz. He is the best Lucian player in the LPL. He's actually just such a sick player around it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when the meta really hits a tone for Lucian, and I'm talking about last time around when you know, he was just gliding across the map with the old item that eventually turned into Spear of Sojin. But now he's doing wonders with the Lucian Yuumi, so it makes a lot of sense to be able to go behind him.
I want to point out as well that it is an underrated combination with the Yuumi, and there's so much versatility with the prowling projectile on the Lucian. You can get that unexpected range advantage.
I mean, for me, it really goes back into what made SKT such a strong team in Season 3. About the Lucian and Lulu lane that Bang and Wolf were just so damn good at. And so the extra movement speed to allow you to glide through, that little bit of protection, especially that I think the Lux, I mean the final chapter is able to be provided there.
Of course. The pop and block passive as well.
Exactly. So there's so much that you can provide to the Lucian early on in the laning phase and much later on in the game that I'm just a fan of the comp.
Makes it fun going into JackeyLove and Baolan, who TheShy was picked up there for JackeyLove, but more notably now, we're starting to ban away the junglers, which have had the biggest impact in the LPL. The LeBlanc is a surprise to me that they don't expect Maple to be going on this Sylas.
It's more of a call out to what Invictus Gaming here wants to play through mid.
Okay.
They don't want to get caught up by a strong jungle duo to be able to contest through mid. So I want to see what Forge wants to pick up here, because for me, it makes sense that the Jarvan was banned out, and I expect more engaged type junglers to be taken off the map, but it seems like they're going to be allowing Weiwei to go a little bit more in depth with some of these matchups. So we'll see what he ends up picking up for himself.
A read on the Akali mid, it seems here for Suning. They banned that away, but now for IG, still a flex to play with in this Jace, which has made it all the way through.
All right, Jace. Jace and Neeko as a combination. I think this is great siege potential from Invictus Gaming. Because if we're just talking about like the Lux binding, the ultimate that comes out immediately after, the shock blast to be paired up with that, we already saw the damage Invictus Gaming can inflict when they were able to get on top of you, be able to force you through mid lane and to be able to deal with that pressure. So see what they can handle if Suning has the pick of the litter now.
Big all-in engage here from Weiwei. So assuming that Gragas is going to be in the jungle, which XX has been the major shareholder in that champion so far. And with the Renekton locked in, Biubiu gets his best.
There we go. Lock in that Renekton. Blind it. I mean, in this one, he knew that he was going to be dealing with a Jace or a Neeko regardless.
Yep.
He just picked it up for himself, knowing that you have Gragas in your back pocket. The gank potential topside is going to be there. Weiwei and Biubiu are making that return.
There we go. We're going to finally see our double trouble, or whatever you want to call it.
I told you no.
Raz, it's the closest thing I've got, but oh! Ning, Vi, Game 3. Last time he played this, I was upset, but let's see if he can make believers out of us.
This is going to be so fun, because the question ultimately is, how do you get to the Lucian, right? If you're trying to be able to get to the back line, and just so frustrating dealing with the mobility that Lucian constantly has alone, let alone being tagged alongside Yuumi.
Yep.
The summoner spells that oftentimes come through, he has the choice to have double defensive summoners in both heal and exhaust, but if you want to be able to get an easy go-to, get this champion out of my face button, the ultimate on Vi is able to accomplish that.
Yeah. He'll be going for a very big journey, but it is able to follow up, so this for IG is putting not your cards on the table. We're trying to think, putting a risk out in game number 3, because let's be honest, the Vi is that small niche pick that people like Ning have been willing to pick up in the past.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to see more of her. Ever since, you know, we've been seeing a lot more Aftershock Vi's out there, the concern had always been that Vi is the type of champion she gets in and there's no way getting out. You know, she goes into the fight, you better be fed enough to be able to get the kill, and that's your only exit strategy. Congratulations. But Aftershock provides so much more for her. And I think that, you know, revelation for a lot of junglers, got to see her a lot of play for, you know, LCS and LEC junglers in solo queue. But it never really showed its head. Majority of the time, junglers still shied away from her.
I remember seeing the Halo Blades fly in solo queue for a little bit.
That's
but
true.
I know here...
That was good fun.
there'll be the biggest question as to what it is going through, but you're right. Aftershock seems to be...
It's 100% Aftershock.
Yep, all right. I'm not going to lead anyone on, but seeing the Vi here with now TheShy back on the Neeko. I mean, we talked about the 2v2 top lane for Suning, but still a strong point for IG.
The Neeko? Yeah, 100%. I think he just has to concern himself with Weiwei and Biubiu because that's going to be two people on your top of your head at all times. Ning has to be concerned about going topside because the Renekton, Flash, be able to keep you in place. That's the concern here.
That's right, the potential for Biubiu to smack you down on what has been his best champion so far. Returning to the Rift for game number 3. IG and Suning, it's come down to this. Once again, IG need to make the proactive move. Otherwise, Suning could be exactly like game 1. Let's get on to the Rift. Now
that is legitimately the greatest thing.
That's creepy, but it's cool at the same time.
Let's not call it creepy.
Okay.
That,
creepy.
my friends, is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. All right. Get a version of me on that. Come on, Raz. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah. It's going to be the Aftershock on the Vi. I'm sorry I even brought it up before. But, Colonel, hello. He's on the Suning train.
Absolutely zero faith. You probably looked at the Vi and said, no chance, buddy.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a smart pickup. I think the concern here is if you ever pick the Vi into a Gragas, and the team is not making any errors, like isolating themselves, he really messes up with what a Vi tries to accomplish. And I'm just talking about, when Vi goes in, she wants follow-up. She wants the Jace to be able to get Shock Blast going, Lux to be able to be there. I'm just saying that for the rest of the team to join her in the venture, or else she just dies in that.
I will say as well, you do take the risk of Maple picking up that Assault and Battery, so I'd love to see that interaction for the first time.
That'll be really fun. But to complete the point, the Gragas cast literally denies that follow-up from existing.
Very true.
So that's where I look at Weiwei and saying that his presence in teamfight is going to be already pretty easy. Like, knowing what he can do to basically deny Ning from either coming in or throw him all the way in.
Yeah, it seems to be the go-to. Oh, SMLZ.
Yes.
Sit down, JackeyLove and Baolan. They just lost that trade heavy.
That's what I love to see, man. There are a few Lucian players, and he's playing the right skin too. Everything is just on the dot. Like, I'm telling you right now, man. On Twitter, I call myself Resident Lucian because I remember when the champion first came out. In fact, before he even came out, there were rumors coming out. There was like some, I forget what they call them. It was like Gun Templar, yes.
Yeah, yep.
That was what like his title was before everything, the rumors were coming out. I just got behind the champion. Everything about it was so sick.
He was going for revenge, right? Against his wife. So good to see it back on Summoner's Rift. I know Rick Fox would be watching as well. But taking a closer look here at Ning, this is important because going for what is a defensive rune choice, but also the Aftershock is so good at facilitating.
Yeah, and for me what was more important is the fact that going into Precision in the secondary tree has Triumph. He's able to get that kill. The snowball is very real where he's able to keep himself topped up. Got to watch out for this one.
Ooh, holds on to the Vault Breaker here. So he's going to get a small reset. Waiting for the Scuttle Crab to push towards him a little bit, but the Invade or the Scuttle, what is it going to end up being?
He just doesn't want to get jumped on. Just going to wait a little bit of time, has his lanes shoving out. So Scuttle Crab was already going up top side, so he just had to wait for the Scuttle Crab to go in his direction. There we go. Once you play towards TheShy's lane, suddenly Suning doesn't have a way to be able to come out and stop Ning from doing what he wants to do.
Really good position for him as well. Able to force his way in. Now knows that the blue buff getting taken. Takes away the control ward as well and can go back to his own jungle or start being a bit of a miscreant around the map.
One great thing about Vi is just her clear speed. She can really go through the entire map while keeping topped up. So Krugs is not a concern for her. Getting to the point that she is, it's going to be a lot easier for her to be able to get on top of Weiwei, especially if he's timed the enemy Raptors. Yeah. He can work alongside Force to be able to stop Weiwei from even showing his face bot side. So I want to be able to see what Weiwei can do to be able to stop that pressure, how aggressive Ning can be with a pickup.
They're set up towards the top side right now, and that's a big wave that's pushing towards Biubiu in the top side right here. I take that back. It's going to be Weiwei coming in first. The Shy Predator's there, but they haven't spotted out Ning. Here we go. Vault Breaker in. Wei has to force the flash. 1, 2, and 3 with the Aftershock. They're looking for both of them, Raz. We need one more. The Shy flashes forward. First blood, second blood not there as TP's coming up to try and negate this.
They're going for him.
Barb's on top. They Vault Breaker into Maple. I think he's made a mistake. Ning gets the reset. The armor shredding. They need one more, but maybe not. Smlz comes up as well, just to be sure.
They were fine with Maple sticking to the play because even if that's a sacrifice on Ning, the Shy will get the kill. But you know who follows through? Smlz and SwordArt.
That's right, and that's a heal burn, Maple. Do you think you can get this? The Shy might be caught out. Ignites there. Got him. Ducked. Good predict there, or rather good predictive damage from Suning.
I mean, that was just sick. I thought they would be losing out a lot in the pressure that they send out Smlz and SwordArt to be able to look and defend top lane. They got the full shove bottom lane, but usually if you're, Yuumi and Lucian, you could try and harass them a little bit more underneath tower, specifically the Yuumi.
Yep.
But they kind of give that away and go top lane. At least they get the kill at the end of the day because the Shy just overstays.
You can see for Suning, like, well, we got so much more than we're expecting out of that play. And Biubiu goes to the mid lane, clears out the wave now, heading back to the top side after what is now a more stable lane. But I say that the Shy picked up the kill. He got first blood, and that's a lost chapter first on the Neeko.
Yeah, I'm far happier with how it turned out for IG initially.
Okay.
Right? And if the kill came through on Biubiu, I'd be a little bit concerned because Weiwei can go back towards that. That entire counter gank would have just been nullified on that.
Yep.
Hasn't been the case, though, so we'll have to see what he ends up doing.
Small trade windows here for Biubiu. Getting hit by the tangle bars really just nullifies that straight away. So a wave to play with here that's slowly pushing into him, but a lot of wave clear that's going to be used very shortly here. And the Shy just playing back towards his laners. We've got a shove to the mid lane as well. So
I like the hover that Ning initially had through mid. He was just waiting just behind Jace just in case. With the lead that Maple technically had, he was able to get the item that he wanted to be able to pick up. And, usually would look for a quick trade, especially with the keystone he had. So Conquerors for the Sylas usually makes him a lot more willing to take trades with the sustain, easily able to pick himself up for him, but didn't go for it. Ning just goes back to his Raptors, clears towards bot. He's looking for this.
He's level 6 now as well, so Assault and Battery is available. Suning get out of there quick, and that's the benefit of Zoomies, and a blue buff onto SwordArt means he can just spam this away.
There we go. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm just going back to the whole Keystone discussion. That Baolan went towards Aftershock instead of Guardians, knowing that he's dealing with a constant poke from SwordArt.
Yep.
I think it's much better to be able to go towards Guardians and deal with that.
Biubiu is low. This is a dive into the top lane.
Oh,
Weiwei's already popped Predator.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah, here we go. Dominus first. Tangle Barb doesn't hit, and Pop Blossom coming down as well means he gets the stun down. The Shy might have it, Raz. Onto Weiwei. He trades. That's big for IG.
Yeah, I kind of just saw that coming. When you're going and trying to dive against Neeko with ultimate, all in tow, and of course Glacial, you're just going to be sacrificing somebody for it. But I think it's still well worth it.
Okay.
That's an entire wave that's going to be denied. No teleport from the Shy even when he comes back up. So now we're just in a situation where Biubiu just thrives.
I will say, however, Ning did benefit slightly off of that. You saw him go in for the invader red buff, picks that one up and gets out just in time. So small windows for IG, but you're right. Biubiu getting such a big wave advantage. Gets turret plating down, has such a big lead in this lane. And you'd pick the Renekton at this point because the way Weiwei's been playing around that top side, Biubiu is only going to get better.
And you want to be able to see Biubiu end up taking the advantage of the top side matchup and rotating for the flanks that we need to be able to see, right? With how Smlz and SwordArt's been playing in the back line, you need to be able to see the front line come up clutch for Suning. If Suning want to be able to clinch this series, it needs to be off the back of Biubiu's frontline pressure.
It's a good start. 1k gold lead here for Suning, and what they've lost in that play, apart from the red buff, was the fact that Infernal went down to IG moments before. Double Infernal on the cards once again. We've been getting some explosive dragons here in this series, and really just rolling the dice for IG even further.
At the same time as Rift Herald 2.
Yeah.
Which makes this one really dicey, where Vision's going to mean the world for both teams. If you end up going for double Infernal like Invictus Gaming would go for, maybe that turns into a trade. I am ecstatic to go for that trade if I'm Invictus Gaming.
Yep.
Hell yes, you do. I think it's going to be on Suning.
Forge ignites down onto Weiwei, wants to take the solo kill onto the jungler. Does it! That's the rookie mid laner taking over rookie.
Insane from Forge. I mean, look, that was going to be the play. Him and Ning just wanted to get a steal on this one, knowing that Gragas was going to be a lone wolf. But guess who's surrounded?
Right place, right time. Ning now here has Assault and Battery. Hasn't used it just yet this game. Vault Breaker up. He just wants to get there.
You sit right tight.
Dominus and Flash available for Biubiu. He goes onto the Shy, wants to take it. Pop Blossom coming down. He flashes out of the way. Now pops the ulti himself, but he's going to be chased up by the Shy. Forge is there. Shock Blast into Blast Cone. He flashes on top. Forge is going full frontal, but Biubiu just doesn't die, Raz.
That was the smartest escape strategy he could have gone for. Maybe they can turn this. Weiwei's in position.
Has the explosive cask available. They jump on the main lane. It's the Tangle Barb. The Pop Blossom is available. The flash forward from Baolan. IG used so many summoners in that play and didn't get enough.
That was so good from Biubiu. He literally took the best option possible. I thought he was going to try and go for the 1v1 as most people would do on the Shy, but just used it so he can get the hell out of there.
Looking good for Suning after that. And what was a solo kill onto Weiwei.
Again. Stop it!
He doesn't have the ult. He doesn't have the flash this time. Ning didn't use any summoners or his ult in the last trade.
I respect this. This is just relentless. He's just going to queue through the wall so he can get into the lane behind Biubiu. They don't have nearly enough damage, even with the Dominus gone from Biubiu. Let's see what ends up happening.
Pops his passive here.
Good
Look
poke.
at where Forge is coming.
All right, you know what? What's going on, guys?
This feels like we're watching FPX just continue the same dive over and over again.
Just at least help him out with the wave. Weiwei's like, what the hell is happening?
You just clear the way. Vault Breaker's there. Pop Blossom coming down. We finally get the dive with the Assault and Battery. Ning is going to die. No, he's not. Heals with Triumph, Raz. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but Maple wants to take the engage. Protobelt's there. We send out a Chain Lash and the Flash as well. But a great Tangle Bar from the Shy as Weiwei blows them up instead. Send it home. The Gragas has arrived.
This is what happens when you've been setting up for a play for about a millennia. Everybody and their mamas knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
And you know what? Give it up to them. They got the kill, but they paid a lot more than they were getting out of it.
The iron prize, as you said last game. It's happened again. For Suning, still that 1k gold lead. Cullen going to come out in the bottom lane as Smlz has just been dominating this lane for the longest time now. And Suning have started up this Rift Trail, but we're going to fight topside once again.
Yeah, you know, Suning certainly got a lot out of this one. If they pick up this Rift Herald, immediately you want to be able to place a top lane, get a lot out because you still have 2 minutes until Rift, turret platings go off.
Yeah.
Right now, Biubiu is in a fabulous position, so close to being able to pick up Black Cleavers. So I wonder if he can get it off of this. If he can't, then certainly get turret plating from. Do we really need to see this again? This is the most brute force thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ning, at least with, as you mentioned, the fact that the Triumph was able to keep him up, but this is great. Here comes the late proc, of course, of Predator from Weiwei, just to put him in place.
Here we go. Boom!
Give me that!
The Shy dodged out, but he died anyway. So.
That was nuclear right there.
That was great. That's 2 kills for the 0 and 3 Gragas as Weiwei was shaping up. And of course, going to be the AP Gragas, so things are only going to get better from here. And the return for the jungler in this game, who was already falling so far behind in CS to Ning. This is the most uninteresting fight I've ever seen.
Oh, I love it.
But Biubiu has ult, so
the
that
auto attack
change.
animation of Neeko is just the greatest thing. Yep. Slap him.
Still looking. I want to look at the setup of the bottom side because it's double Infernal, and that second Infernal for IG would be massive. That's getting more annoying, but Rift Trail getting dropped here. Suning really want to contest for this one.
Because this is a pretty clear plan from Suning. They can get this tower. They move now towards the next dragon, but Invictus Gaming stop him now. Easy dragon pickup.
4 versus 3 for now. IG towards that brush. Rift Trail gets the charge, but they're backing away. Maple's nearby as well. He steals an Assault and Battery on the side, but Maple doesn't need to follow up. He's got that ultimate to start threatening around the objective.
That was just great. Once again, another point of IQ for Maple. Because that's what IG were trying to set up for.
Yep.
Stop them in their tracks before they push through mid, through bot, and then go towards the Infernal Dragon. Ning's still looking for it, but you're right. There's 2 Assault and Batteries in play here.
This is what I wanted to see, but now finally in the top lane.
This is the fight that I paid to see.
That's what I've been waiting for. The Shy winning that whole-handedly, but Weiwei's being caught out here. They want to charge into him. He goes gold, and he denies one ulti. Now looking for the second Weiwei. Assault and Batteries onto him from Ning. They hit into the backline, but Ning is getting chunked out now. Smlz trying to kite his way out of this fight. Gets ignited. He's tick-tock ticking away. SwordArt picks up that kill. A 1-for-1 with Maple on the side, looking to re-engage.
All right, let's see what they can pick off this one. Smlz SMLZ wants a little bit more.
Yuumi's is there. Prowling projectile slows down Forge. That might be good enough for Maple, but they really wanted Baolan. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade of junglers, which means that dragon's staying right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go any further on that one too. Forge had enough to be able to go off one rotation of his full spells, so don't want to touch it. Don't want to touch it. There's a lot to be gained here from sitting on the mid lane.
Yep, so much space he provided towards that bottom side river, and Maple getting more damage onto the mid lane turret. But he's not able to take it down just yet. So for Forge, he's okay with this already being in such a big lead in that lane.
Yeah, you already have so much in favor. Right now, if we're talking about how Invictus Gaming is going to win this game, you're right. It's going to have to be off the back of Forge. And it's kind of dicey. If you're an IG fan, you don't want it to be off of that newcomer.
But it's kind of exciting in the same sense because he's filling such a big gap. And in this game through, it feels like so far, he's facilitating it nicely.
And I want to talk about him a little bit more because the LDL just started. And, you know, his team, when it comes to the summer split, the whole goal for them is to be able to make it into the LPL.
Yeah.
Like, that's the general goal for Invictus Gaming Young. And for him to be coming into the Invictus Gaming main squad, the sacrifice is, of course, that their support, Lucas, that we saw in the early parts of the split, has now moved as their mid laner, and they're not doing too well in the LDL. He's sacrificing a lot personally to be able to take this great opportunity to be able to sell himself, and my God, is he doing a great job at that.
That's right, makes himself so much more appealing to expand himself later, but back to the game at hand, because IG right now have just started up the dragon, they secure it. Weiwei doesn't go for the steal. That was quick thinking from IG, right place, right time again.
Yeah, and right now his performance is boosting Invictus Gaming to a point where they're not in, like, just outside of the playoff realm.
Yeah.
They're keeping in it, and take a look at this.
Assault Battery takes him on a journey. TheShy's coming in as well. They might not even need to pop Blossom here. Weiwei is dead and out. SwordArt's going to be caught out here as well. Help me, SMLZ. He gets away. Now Zoomies to help him as culling onto TheShy. Bit of poke damage here as Maple. This time he steals a pop Blossom.
They have a teleport advantage now. Biubiu doesn't have TP for himself. He's going to be sitting up top lane, and that's the whole concern right now. Ning do not want to continue on with that fight. Just a great pick-off by Ning to be able to get his hands on Weiwei.
Look at where SMLZ and SwordArt are, though.
Oh, no.
Skirted around Vision. JackeyLove doesn't know they're here. SMLZ's like, I'm by myself. SwordArt's near him. Flashes forward. The feathers fly, and JackeyLove has to burn a flash himself.
This is what we wanted to see, man, before the series began. SMLZ versus JackeyLove. And they're both playing real well.
It took this long to finally get it, or
to
rather
get the
1v1.
AD carry matchup?
Yeah.
Who the hell just gets their seat, sits waiting for the matchup to come through, and he just plays Yuumi 2 games in a row?
Oh, we're going to get another 1v1 though. Dominus popped in the top lane as Forge props into the Conquerors now, looking for the engage. Ignites onto Biubiu. He forces him, and he gets it! Straight up from the LDL. Maple flashes over the wall. That's not fair. Forge is low, absconded, duck. Ning's like, I'll just leave you, mate. You're dead. Now, Maple, that's not a real 1v1, but I can tell you, Forge looked good there.
That's his 3rd kill. Such an insane 1v1 that he was engaged on.
Yeah.
He was challenged to that fight, and he just stood and delivered.
Conqueror's Jace, ladies and gentlemen. Just adds that little bit of oomph. Also had Black Cleaver to it as well. Raz, you want to rinse and repeat? Here we go.
Yeah, let's take a look at how it all started here, of course. This was the opportunity for Biubiu to be able to come in. Let's see, all he used is Slice and Dice that expanded his, first
Passive, yeah.
passive Fury.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate. I still think he would have died anyways. At this point in time, like, he's just huge.
That? Yep.
You got to put him in place, man. Keep him hung.
Ah, true. That's
but
3-1 on the Jace.
Great challenge. You get to see the stat check on that one, so Biubiu's never going to go for that one again. But it was real fun to be able to see now. You already see the BF sword being picked up by Biubiu. It's definitely going to be
Spirit Shojin coming up next.
Exactly.
Common pickup here for the Renekton. 2-item spike absolutely dominates in the 1v1, so maybe a different story when that comes across, but there's also the Black Cleaver on Forge, so we'll see.
And as this game goes on, it's going to get more difficult for Ning. He's going to rely on the follow-up more and more from TheShy and JackeyLove to be able to back him up, because Aftershock's not going to be as relevant. And more importantly, I would say, his next pickup should be Guardian Angel. And once you get past that whole initial spike, you just get burnt out. It doesn't matter, as I already mentioned, if you have Aftershock or not. You're just going to get blown up as the fight starts.
Yeah.
Unless if you can get SMLZ right from the beginning.
TheShy did a bit of a fake here, Raz. Sent the clone backwards, sent himself forward. Thought we were going to develop more on that, but I guess not. But as you were talking about Ning, he picked up the cloth armor, so we're getting towards that point. Still tier 1 boots on the jungler, which is a surprise to see, but then again, Forge still in the same same sentiment at this point. You look at this game, and what I forgot to bring up is the fact that with this double Infernal, when we talk about the mid game and how explosive it looks with both of these compositions, that for IG, still with a gold disadvantage, that Infernal feels like it builds that gap a little bit better.
100%. Like, the damage across the board, and this is just a full 5-man unit that really benefits from it. Baolan, you would expect to have, of course, the least amount of damage from the unit, and that's true, but his ultimate is still going to be a great way to set up for team fights.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be able to see what you can do now for this team, as we also get the stat. I think this is
100?
how much they love their family, 100% on both sides.
That's very nice. And what's the top one?
We don't talk about
Because
the
that's
top
66 and 47.
You
I mean,
keep
that's
talking
not
about the top
It's
one.
over 100%, right?
I just want to see the bottom one not be 100%.
Okay. How much they love their families.
Find another one.
Yeah. Actually going to ask Clement what that means next time I see him.
You don't have to. No. I've already translated for you.
Oh, sorry. How rude of me. So, look, 100% of the shots you don't take, you make. As a side note, I actually don't know what it means, but Smlz with 2 items now. Most important part here, what did I say in that game 1, or game 2 rather, earlier with Top Esports? Well, the 2-item Lucian is breathtaking, and at this point, you've got a 2-item Lucian, so Smlz's ready to battle.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the range just yet, because obviously the next one, Rapid Fire Cam, would do just fine, but at this moment in time, he needs some, frontliners to be able to be alongside him. That's why Biubiu is in the area, getting that mid lane shove so they can be in position for Dragon.
This is the slowest game we've seen so far. 14 kills, 21 minutes. I'm glad we actually get to pace this one out a little bit better, Raz.
It needs to be set up properly by Suning.
Yes.
Whenever you have a Yuumi on the court and you're only engaged or just, engaged champion is pretty damn squishy. Right now, he's relying on that one burst engage and the Zhonya's to keep him firm.
Yeah.
You have to do it right.
We're at this point where Weiwei, with that Zhonya's Hourglass, has popped. No, rather hasn't popped the Predator, is ready to get that cooldown and finally get to the point.
How unnerving is it? Like, when you pop your red trinket and you just see, like, 3 people, 3 silhouettes on the opposite side.
Yeah. Oh, what's going to happen here? Clearing out more vision now. There's nothing here from Suning in the river, but still able to deny some of IG around the corner. Is Ning now in position to finally get this started?
It's just way too difficult for us, Smlz, alongside Suning to be able to support this. So I think they're just going to have to go back mid. I don't think they're going to be able to contest this at all.
TheShy gets himself a Tangle Barb. TheShy actually slowed down by Prowling Projectile, but Suning can't get the position to find him. So that's Dragon going down, 3rd elemental. Triple fire coming up next. As TheShy might be caught out here. Maple culling as well. Forces the flash. Ning not going to Vault Breaker in because they've just lost their crucial member.
Yeah, no way you can defend this if you're Invictus Gaming. Just trying to clear this one out.
Not enough wave clear, and wow, Weiwei sends out a Q, sends one packing.
Wave clear, well done from Baolan to Yuumi, just kind of send them off running.
True.
Because damn, that would have been a death immediately. You can't hold off on that one. It was a good flash because ultimately the Smlz culling would have been able to net the kill.
That's right. Another wave coming in though, so it's going to be about JackeyLove holding off this wave with Baolan at his side. And Maple's moved to the top side, so side wave controls. Biubiu spotted out by TheShy. And Predator procced once again. Ning looking for a solo kill, forces the flash out of who? Out of himself. Interesting.
Tried for it.
He did. Ulti's still available, but yeah, that flash move onto Maple, who still holds his.
Yeah, well, I always want to see the context of that, but of course we never really get a good view of
here
it.
in the LPL.
He just went to try for the kill, obviously. It's probably, I'm just going to envision just an Abscond abductor away.
Yeah. And around the Baron buff, at this point when it's so blind, getting top lane priority from even forcing Maple out might be okay, might be worth it. Four just moved up there, got the wave shoved in, and you can see that Weiwei's trying to move closer towards that Baron pit, where IG at the moment have secured the Scuttle Crab and don't need to go anywhere near it.
Yeah, and at this stage of the game, Suning are pretty damn comfortable with their ability to wave clear, though they need a few members here in the mid lane. I think they'll just lose this tower.
Maybe. Smlz still here, slowed on down.
Oh,
TheShy
no.
Tangle barbing in, but good relentless pursuit away. Binding connects. TheShy can just drop a tear on him, but in the same sentiment, you lose a mid lane turret, so IG trading here very well.
They were doing a pretty good job at being able to slow this one down. Now they're in a stage where they need to be able to defend as long as possible. Right now I'm looking towards Smlz. You already talked about what his 3rd item should be. The extra range is important. He needs to be able to get some extra damage. Let's say if JackeyLove is walking up the wave like this. He's not being able to kind of punish that. Rapid fire cannon, they will be able to do that. So we're in a stage where JackeyLove is trying, or Smlz is trying to lead like you would expect from the old Lulu Lucian lanes.
Yep.
Can't do it. This time around, we just have to wait a little bit longer.
Still trying to start the fight is Weiwei, though. Uses Predator once again. And Forge going to disappear out of the top lane now. Noting that QSS in Smlz's inventory. At this point, of course, slows the build down, but so much CC. So a necessary purchase here by the AD carry. And one that in this upcoming fight will be a necessity once again. Still trying to break down that mid lane turret.
Just take a look at the range advantage. We're talking about the effective range of Xayah. Just throw out her feathers. How the hell can Smlz get anywhere near it? Speaking of that.
How is Smlz going to survive?
Wow.
Bolt Breaker once again. Ning gets denied. And the Absconder ducked onto the jungler. Deleted. Suning turned that around. And by God, they shouldn't have.
Instant QSS dash.
Yeah.
What can you do if you're Vi on that one? You just got played.
Insane move from Smlz. Now that's when it comes in handy, just as I was talking about it. Dominus popped here from SKTT1 Biubiu as he runs on in, flashes forward. He wants the pop loss of Neeko, who can't use her ulti. She's deleted off Summoner's Rift as well. Smlz is autoing to save his life, but JackeyLove still healed so much. He ults, he has the feathers out, he's alive for now, but Maple jumps on him. They eventually take him as well. Forge is alive, jumps on the Yuumi, and that was a bloodbath, but Forge is the only one left standing.
Welcome to the Forge JackeyLove show on that one. And in his dying breath, JackeyLove brings back the feathers and cuts them up.
It's onto Maple, who killed him in the process, but there's a lot of replaying to do in little time, because with 2 members alive on IG, they can run to the Baron.
I think your eyes should be focused on Smlz. He's your primary carry. He's going to be the one leading you up, because that was a great fight from the left side. But if you focus to the right side of this one, where, you know, Lucian's alone, goes up against JackeyLove and ends up losing on that half foot. Then you're like, okay, where's the Yuumi going to be going? Passes from one to the next. Boom. Eviscerates Maple. And Forge just does way too much damage at this stage. Where are we teleporting?
Oh, we're going to Baron because they think it's being done. Maple runs in, realizes it's not. IG held off. In the replay, Forge backed instead, picked up a GA in the process.
This game is dicey. It really is. But Lucian's trying to find a way in. At least has his first Zeal. But you can already see how much damage you're getting out of JackeyLove. He's pumping him out.
On that note as well, Smlz has his QSS backup and available, so excited to see what that makes in the next play. But Triple Infernal looking to be denied here by Suning.
That's a real good call, obviously. Not on the... Oh, wait, maybe you can get something from Ning, but no, way too low.
Looking for the challenge. TheShy, that's a fake one. He gets to slow down. They're in a good position here to contest. Look at where Ning is. A Vault Breaker away, Maple chasing him up, he finds him, abscond, abduct, chain lash, pop blossom down, the Assaultant Battery once again, the culling comes onto Ning, Suning get a big pick, and Baron is up, but IG channel down mid.
Maybe it will turn into a Baron. Right now, Invictus Gaming are in such a great position. If they get challenged here, they can just turn to the left.
This Baron, here we go, because mid lane turret's been left, Suning, only the Lucian and Yuumi backed.
Biubiu knows what's about to come up. So clear out this wave, get your team in a position. At least you have a jungler up on them, so you can see Invictus Gaming recognizing they're just going to get the wards down, back away.
Good ward in the pit as well that has not been cleared by Suning. They don't have to step anywhere near it, so without that vision being cleared away, no threat here from IG. They'll have to do the same, playing respectful towards each other.
What a game 3. You don't get these games so frequently. A lot of our best teams end up just cleaning house like FPX did, but what a flank position.
What a flank. He has dominance. He's popped at Biubiu onto TheShy. The final spark as well. Final chapter. TheShy has to flush away, but Maple comes in for the flank. Now, Suning can keep cleaning this up, but JackeyLove is so healthy, untouched in the backline. IG, their AD carry, survives. And now Ning onto Maple. He doesn't care. IG have won the fight.
Forge, man, right in the thick of things. Just blasted them up. I want to see that one more time because there was so much expended to get into the backline. JackeyLove got out of there.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
He's now onto Maple. My God, this chase destroys again. That Baron is assuredly theirs.
Already on it. Teleport from JackeyLove onto the play, and it's going to be a Baron buff to Invictus Gaming.
Let's go. This is how IG secure themselves. Ning, he's healthy enough. Baron, as you said, over to IG and their first gold lead in this game.
What a great setup from Suning to start the fight. And now it comes down to, you know, when you look at it, the backside, how does Biubiu play it out? Because he ends up deciding to follow in and trying to get the execute on JackeyLove. But ultimately, you just need to act like your front line. Like, you need to just be there alongside Smlz because he's opened up to Forge. Forge gets the execute, can then look towards SwordArt immediately and get the kill on that one as well. And it comes down to a question on roles. What is your role in this fight? Your role is to protect this one man. The President Smlz.
I was looking at JackeyLove in the middle of that fight and totally missed Forge, who's just cleaning house, as you said, at the back end. So you said it was the Forge and JackeyLove show. You're so right on this one, Raz. 8-1-6, 3-1-5, 4 items apiece. And in that last fight, JackeyLove was firing away. He threw like 5 feathers out and did 4.5k damage.
This is the difficulty for Suning. I mean, they're really waiting on the final item break point for Smlz, so he at least has the range.
Yeah.
But that's not the case right now. You're going to be dealing with a 4-item Xayah.
Because you're hoping that Maple 8-2 and 3 is going to do something with the ulti steals. Smlz getting down to half health, but Zoomies heals him up. Against the Baron, however, this is rough. Getting impeached on towards that inhibitor turret, and Smlz hates Forge right now.
Yeah, he's getting hurt right now, dog. You're getting to a place where Suning are in a very similar position like they were in last game.
Zoomies going to heal him up a lot. Biubiu almost taken down, has to flash away, can't get the regeneration. Weiwei into the middle of the fight. Redemption coming down. Pop Blossom, this is what you need, but is it enough from Maple as he goes golden with a stolen Pop Blossom? I don't think so. The real one to come down. Maple zoned away. Forge is still alive again. A triple kill for him. Let's keep going. He knocks Biubiu back to the fountain, and IG are fighting like there's no tomorrow, Raz.
No way Biubiu can stop them now. Just like the TES series, Invictus Gaming fight back.
A full-blown ace to finish off. IG rising to the occasion again. They smack down Suning in another epic game 3.
Give me a Forge appreciation thread. Tap it up right now. I see your PC up. Get on Reddit. Yeah, open up a thread. That's right. Now type in, I love Forge send. Perfect.
Done. Except it was a tweet.
Oh, you son of a... That ain't... You have 0 followers, friend.
Forge is going to be the opposite of me after that game, Raz. You know why?
Why?
Because that man played it out of his damn mind, as you're saying, and that was a beautiful third game. Camera so rightly so on this man in the mid lane.
You are judged based off of, you know, when you're put, back against the wall, unsuspecting play. I'm specifically talking about that usual, that's a killer situation you're put in when you get a flank on you by Renekton. And I think that JackeyLove handled it excellently. He was able to just duck and dodge from that situation, able to survive a lot of the pressure that Renekton ended up coming through. But obviously when Chaos struck, Forge just, he struck harder.
That was a beautiful game, and no one expects this person to facilitate a role in IG where he is in the limelight. He steps into game 3, and that chase was awesome, but there were so many other elements coming into play, and for once we saw the best out of, I believe, Ning's Vi as a small note.
A lot of it comes down to how do you work as a team around it. I think TheShy performed wonderfully as well. Remember, he got MVP in game 2 when they came back and were able to tie up the series. And take a look at the gold graph. It says a lot in and of itself. Biubiu was performing well at the early portion of the game. Maple had played smart and was able to set up a lot of pick potential. And then just flatly Smlz and SwordArt control the bottom lane.
Yes.
That was just the story of the game up until a crucial fight around 27 minutes where, I mean, that was IG, as I stated, back against the wall when Suning were moving for multiple death fights, right? The one I mentioned earlier was essentially the game-ending fight around red side. But there was another one when they were sieging through mid.
Yep.
And Smlz gets caught out by JackeyLove, and he was able to come out trumps. And then once again, you saw how Jace was able to clean out the last component of that fight too. So that was great from the Invictus Gaming backline to be able to come up big that series. And while you're right, a lot of people will look at it and the first thing that catches your eye is the Vi. But if you watch the game, appreciate it, you'll be able to have a high opinion on Forge and JackeyLove.
On Forge, and yes, JackeyLove in that last fight, or rather one of the last fights. I love going back and looking at Biubiu because that was a great flank. Biubiu and Maple coming in as well, but so hard to kill them. This was so early in the game, I forgot when this was.
So this was a good point to be able to protect Captain Weiwei because he gets caught out. I was always interested to see how it ended up, you know, coming out. But take a look at this.
Who's this?
This was like, look at Biubiu. I actually would have much rather him go and look to protect Smlz, be by his side and play it slowly. There's a little bit of hardship around that because obviously JackeyLove is still pretty strong, has about 70% of HP still to his name. But he made the decision to be able to look to get an assassination off of him, and it didn't work out. Much like Game 2, Game 3 ended based off of this. You make that final push, you try and take them down like dominoes. Smlz also tries to commit to the play because, right, like that looked like a great play from Maple. Just didn't have the follow-up and ends up dying off that one. So it's tough. It's hard.
First trip for Forge.
It works.
Yeah, it works. Absolutely does. We saw the best out of the new Invictus Gaming in that third game, and it's good that we got a third game that spoke to the merit of both teams in element, because Game 1, Game 2, heavy snowball, but Game 3, we came down to that point where it's like, we're into the mid-game. It's about execution.
That's why I love, you know, best of threes.
Yeah.
I enjoy best of three so much because you get a real story. You get adaptation. You get a point where in Game 1, Ning came out and sprouted out their, you know, their Pyke Yuumi comp.
Yep.
And that's perfect to slip them up, but you still have to be able to put the nail in the coffin. And they thought their nail in the, you know, figurative coffin would just be
that bottom line again.
Do it again, right? It worked so well last game. We can execute it, and they did. Up until the point where you were dealing with a much harder teamfight composition.
Yes.
And Invictus Gaming were able to weather the storm, and in Game 3 they had to go back to what was comfortable for them, the Yuumi, the Lucian, and they were going back mano a mano on legitimately, as you can see, what was a go-to composition for Ning.
Yeah.
And IG proved to be better just through the ability to adapt in a longer series, something that they were able to showcase to us so many times before in a best-of-5 situation in playoffs time. And even harder, a bigger story to tell, is that Forge was the identity on the later portions of the best of 3.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he started off strong. It was that he ended the series strong for the team.
I mean, this puts you in a good position, or maybe a more comfortable position with IG going forward. If their mid laner can perform when it was, you know, in the highlights of Rookie, you go, this mid laner is the best, you know, best in the world, well, he's in that discussion. Forge needs to facilitate a role in this team that puts him in the basket at the very least with someone like Rookie in the long run.
Yes, I think you are definitely happy for the long run just because you don't have that situation where you need to pull in your best player.
Yes. In
a really uncomfortable situation.
You can play around that.
Like, and I'm just talking about the idea of, I don't want to bring out traditional sports, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Okay, so I'm not going to be with you then.
You know, position where Golden State Warriors are obviously in a series losing situation. They have to bring in their best player. Injures himself in a really bad way. But I'm just saying, you don't want to put yourself in such an uncomfortable position where you have to be saying, oh, we need Rookie.
Right.
Went like now more than ever. Yeah. But Forge comes in incredibly strong as a talented player. You know, no nerves it seems when he's able to come in. So they can just go about their business. They took down Top Esports and they were able to handle their business here tonight. I'm really happy with what is just the future for Forge as a player, but also the immediate future for Invictus Gaming coming into Rift Rivals.
Because we're assuming, going into Rift Rivals, it is going to be Forge. We still don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe is the...
You got to stop that.
All right. That's why I said maybe. You got to let me get there. This will maybe be the team going into Rift Rivals. And if it is, then you feel with more confidence that the number 1, the first seeded team, the champions of spring, will play like champions.
Yes, that's what you need. You need your Seed 1 team looking strong. There are times where 100% your spring split champions will not look as good as in the second split.
Yeah.
And I know where you're going with this. Let's say it. 1, 2, 3.
We're talking about
SKT. So, like, you get to those moments where you... At least we don't have to deal with that same struggle, dog. At least we fine, right?
Yeah.
At least it's good. But at the end of the day, you still have second seed with JDG. So, like, I love to see those kind of highlight moments where all of these young teams, not named Invictus Gaming or SKT, more so talking towards, like, Dom1 that's going to be going to that event alongside Top Esports. These teams that really want to be in an international event.
Yeah.
Want to be going up against teams, the LPL teams going up against the LCK teams. That seems like a dream, and it's going to be a little bit of a bite-sized taste of what's going to be happening if they end up going to Worlds.
Yeah, a nice talking point as well for IG. If it is that maybe roster going forward, then you have someone like Forge, who of course he's MVP.
Yeah,
would have been
put it up.
Outraged.
Get it up there. 11
That
kills.
man. 33% damage. We're talking late game there as well, so get ready for Forge.
That's what happens if you put him inside like some fire. I'm talking about put him in hot magma. Get him out there, you realize he's the Terminator.
And hey, remember that this is not the last time we see IG, just on a side note, before they go to Rift Rivals.
Oh, you want to talk about
Match
that thing?
of the week? Of course I do, because I'm
Yeah.
assuming we're going to see Forge again, and I assume against the grand final rematch, we get a bit of a better taste in how this guy goes.
Yeah, you got to give the production staff some timing, all right?
Bring it up, please.
You got to be able to give them some time to set it up.
That's why I did it during the graphics, so we can.
That doesn't give them any time.
Well, you can cue it up.
Okay.
See?
But I love the idea that you're right. Match of the week is something we all want to see. The fans want to see it.
Yep.
Damn it, I want to see it. We want to be able to see Zoom go up against TheShy.
There it is.
Just like that. The matchup you wanted to be able to see go mano a mano at the finals. And it didn't happen. They didn't give it to us, right?
Yep.
It was 3-0 quick. JD decided to just hard scale and play away from Zoom. That's the worst thing you can possibly do.
That's right.
At least give the fans what they want. Hard-paying fans. Or at least those cheap fans out there watching it on Twitch TV right now.
They're not cheap. Can't call our fans cheap, Raz.
Then pay me. But like ultimately, we're in that position where you get to see them rematch, undo what all happened at that point, and both these teams are on the rise.
Yeah.
Like JDG's looking real good in their previous sets. Invictus game, you just saw them
That
adapt
gameplay,
and annihilate.
legendary. Yep.
So I'm ready to see what's up to come.
That's coming up on Saturday, second series of the Saturday there, so we look forward to seeing you there. But that's it for today. IG stamping their name over Suning. They now match them. They're now at 4-2.
That's what I want to see. Invictus Gaming right back on track on this one. And you look towards what the competition is, and my God, is it thick, because right underneath them, EDG, Victory 5, BLG. And then LGD is actually a really interesting story off of all of that, because you just revealed something.
I saw Amy coming back into the roster.
That's an interesting one, of course. Has been in the roster in the past, so now that they're bringing Amy back, I hope that a lot of the old issues that had been in place at that time is resolved now. Is gone through a lot of those days. And at the end of the day, I look at the top, and I still see Top Esports alongside FPX as our front runners in the league.
Good news going towards Rift Rivals, as we said before. FPX the only undefeated team for now. But you're right, Raz. It's looking thick. It's looking great. I'm excited for the weeks coming up. I'm also excited for what's happening tomorrow.
Woo!
We're back. LGD and LNG. And as you mentioned before, LGD looking interesting.
They're looking real interesting right now. Now, even when it felt like they were handicapped. They lost. Someone just found Condi in an alley.
I liked Quay.
Yes. I think at the end of the day, no matter which jungler they showed, they were almost able to take down a real front runner in FPX.
Yes.
They almost took them down in a series.
They're the only person to take a game off of FPX.
And RNG.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, RNG lost the series versus FPX, but before that series ended up happening, they took a game off of RNG.
And RNG.
Two of the undefeated teams, they took a game off that one. So LGD, you definitely can't sleep on them. And then Rogue Warriors going up against EDG. You might see special guest Mouse in the audience, who was there last time around. He has allegiance between two teams. You might see like half Rogue Warriors jersey, half EDG jersey.
Yep.
The man doesn't want to commit.
He will one day, but Rogue Warriors EDG, for their own reason, are going to be good itself, because they still want to see the best out of Holder and Haro. And Haro going up against this old team, Raz.
Yeah, that's going to be real fun.
So that'll be good. However, that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for enjoying that awesome last match with us as well. Big thank you to Raz, not myself, and to our production. We'll see you tomorrow for more LPL English. Bye for now, but not forever.